So usually I don't do this. Usually I don't respond to negative posts which are made on social media, but tonight I feel compelled to respond. For those of you who have been following me, you would realize that yesterday I visited the community of Graspies as well as Lower Prosper. Now, the moment I got to Graspies, before I could even get out of my vehicle, a young man who is very well known to me came to the car and explained to me that even though I had sent heavy duty equipment a couple days after the hurricane to clear the road so that they could actually enter the community, he explained that as it relates to the personal private homes, the houses of some residents in Graspies, they still had difficulty entering and exiting their own personal space because of the amount of rubble that was left behind by the hurricane. And so, in fact, he even spoke to me specifically about an individual who shall remain nameless, and he mentioned that she was almost on the verge of getting depressed because of the whole situation. It was just really a severe inconvenience that was really starting to get to the residents. And so I said to him, okay, I will look into it and make sure that you get some assistance. By the time I went up the road, a few other residents came to me with the very same issue. And so against that background, the final straw actually was when a gentleman came to me in the presence of the contractors whilst I was there speaking to the contractor, and explained that he had a similar problem and that the contractor had told him that he couldn't go into private homes. He would have to speak to his member of parliament and ask her to assist. And so he came to me in the presence of the contractor, and in the presence of the contractor I spoke to the contractor and asked if he could assist, even though technically it is outside the scope of his responsibilities because it's not on the main road, it's actually personal private property. But given the nature of the situation, and I believe that you always have to sometimes try and help people as best as you can, even when technically you don't have the responsibility or it's not your burden to bear. But especially in these times when people really have been going through so much, if we can help to make the burden a little bit lighter, I'm always going to be the one who is going to try to do so. So in the presence of the residents, I spoke to the contractor, and they heard as well when he committed to me, because if it is one thing with me, I'm going to ask for timelines. I'm going to ask, when are you able to do this, so that I can update you. And so in the presence of residents, the contractor indicated that he would come early in the morning and deal with them first before going back to his usual scope of work that he's actually supposed to be doing. And so against that background, I also communicated to you all who watch me on this space that your homes, those of you with rubbles, would be cleared the following morning, and I gave you an update. Now, why am I speaking about this? You would think that that is a non-issue, except that it turns out that the JLP Councillor for the division has taken to social media to make a post stating that he is the one who is clearing the roadway. He is the one who is doing the work. Now, it appears to me that the councillor has probably not been listening to the news or watching the news when the announcement was made that as it relates to clearing of roadways, all roadways are being cleared through the National Works Agency. So it means that even though usually here in Jamaica we have a distinction between parish council roads and NWA roads, because of this particular situation, the catastrophe that has been brought on by Hurricane Melissa, a decision has been taken by the government that the clearance of roadways are being handled through the National Works Agency. And so it is against that background why I would have reached out to the parish manager for the National Works Agency and gave him a list of the roads that still had not been cleared and a list of the roads where residents were still somewhat stranded. Now, many of you remember I would have cleared most of the roadways in the constituency within a few days after the hurricane, but there were still maybe one or two. Lower Prosper was one, And there's another one in Park Mountain called Red Lane that's also not clear. And then there is another section of Top Burnt Ground which is in the vicinity of Joyland. Those areas residents still had challenges. They're not blocked in or marooned because they're alternative routes, but those roadways still need to be cleared. I would have submitted those listing to the National Works Agency. I have been in constant dialogue trying to get those roadways cleared. That is why I can tell you, because even up to today I would have spoken to the parish manager for the National Works Agency and asked him, because I see your messages, I see you asking me about Park Mountain. I may not respond to all of you, but I see your messages and I do act on it once I see it. And so I can tell you that he has given me his commitment that he will take the contractor tomorrow morning to look at the space, the roadway, and then make a determination as to what type of work is required. As it relates to those of you in Top Burnt Ground, I can give you an update to let you know that the work actually started today to try and clear your roadway. Now, this is the reality. If you follow me, you will know that I'm not the member of parliament who is going to be driving around on a backhoe, piloting someone or trying to tell somebody how to do their job for the optics of it, or just so that people can see me appear as though I'm doing something. I don't work like that. I am the member of parliament who, once you come to me with a problem, I'm going to figure out a way to solve it, and once I have solved it, I'm going to move on to the next problems that I have to fix. So you're not going to see me each and every day that a road is being cleared. You're not going to see me on location because I am busy sorting out other issues that need to be solved. So once the roads start clear and me get the update that the roads start clear and me know say you're alright, I'm not gonna necessarily find myself back there and just be present for the purpose of taking pictures. But I've come to realize that the politics has shifted. The politics has shifted in a direction where there are some of us who are willing to simply wait until someone makes strong advocacy, makes strong representation, starts to get work being done, and then they simply go on location and try to associate themselves with the work. Now, as it relates to this particular road work being done in Grass Peace, those of you who follow me can actually go back to the video that I posted a few weeks ago, right before the hurricane came, where I was giving you an update about the drain in front of Mothers. If you listen to that video, you will hear the sound of the contractor explaining to me what was being done and how he had cleared the drain. And if you listen to this video of the Grass Peace clearance, you will notice that the voice is the very same. The voice is the very same because it is the same contractor that I've used to clear the roadway. So I find it rather disingenuous. I find it unfortunate that the councillor is now coming to make assertions that he's stating that the municipal corporation is paying for the work. He's stating that the work is being done through the municipal corporation, or in other words, the parish council. Parish councillor is not clearing any roadway that has been blocked as a result of Hurricane Melissa. All of these clearances are being done through the National Works Agency. So I'm just here to set the record straight and to let you know. And I guess I am this incensed because, quite frankly, I feel very passionate about it. I feel very passionate because throughout this whole hurricane scenario, I have not seen or heard of the councillor making any representation. I have not seen or heard of him doing anything constructive, and so I take great offense to now, at this particular moment in time when work is being done, now coming and claiming responsibility or trying to claim responsibility, and then having the audacity to go on social media and state that I am the one who is being dishonest. I take great offense to that. So this is just to set the record straight.